Haven't went nowhere, guys. Been sick. I'm still getting it in. My hair is getting big. Tomorrow's the 1st of February. And what I was supposed to be finishing up is a program on intermittent fasting. And what I decided to do is actually talk about it instead of actually creating a program, because it's really not that hard to understand. I don't think I need to create a program for it. So I think it's better that I discuss it. And I have decided that I'm going, well, I haven't decided, I've already went back. Why I decided to go back into intermittent fasting is really what I want to tell you guys. But first and foremost, there were some supplements from the previous video that you guys were asking about, and I didn't provide links for it, and please forgive me for that. So I'll make sure I provide the links for it in this video and for that video as well. But with intermittent fasting, there's 3 major supplements that I mentioned in that previous video that I am using. The ShredHer, NLAforHer, it's called ShredHer. It's a fat burner, thermogenic fat burner. It does have stimulants in it. So this is what I take first thing when I wake up. I try not to take it after 12 p.m. because the problem is it messes with my sleep. So this is just to help, you know, lose those last few pounds if you need to. For some of you, this would actually help, you know, kickstart the weight loss if you need it. But I got this from bodybuilding.com. I think they have another brand. I'm almost done with this. Well, not another brand, probably another, well, they probably have another type of fat burner that's probably better. I'm just finishing off with these, so I'll link that down below. And before I do fasted cardio or fasted weight training, because I do both, I try to do my cardio and my weight training just about an hour and a half before I decide it's time for me to eat. And one thing I mentioned on here was the BCAAs. This is 5% nutrition. I got this from my local supplement shop that I go to, and if you guys are following me on Beauty Cut Right Fitness Facebook page, I have posted Dominic. He's the owner of the supplement shop that I go to, and he gave me this. But you can find this online. These are BCAAs. They help in recovery and keeping you from losing your muscle tissue when it comes to fasting or intermittent fasting. So I'll make sure I link that down below. And that's what BCAAs are for. I usually have this before and during, and that's it. Simple. Finally found a protein that works for me. I'll try and find this and link it for you guys as well. But got this from Dominic, the supplement shop that I go to. It's whey protein, one whey isolate. Before I was having problems with different whey proteins where I was feeling like I was bloated or it just wasn't working well for me, and the only protein that seemed to work pretty good for me was the Quest protein, but I only use it for cooking because it's a little bit too sweet for me. So it kind of confused me that, you know, it didn't have a lot of sugars in it because it seems so sweet. But this is just like the right taste. This is vanilla. They have chocolate and I think strawberry. But I had never heard of this one, but it's whey isolate protein. So it doesn't have all this extra stuff in it. And that's what the problem was. All of this extra stuff that's in a lot of these protein powders can be a problem. So the only protein powder that I am okay with is the Quest protein powders, and only for cooking. But this immediately after weight training and cardio, because I do hit cardio fasted. So I'll make sure I link this below, and I'm glad I've gotten that out the way for you guys, because I know you guys were questioning about that. And if you have any other more questions about supplements when it comes to intermittent fasting, let me know. 2 other supplementations you should be taking is a multivitamin and fish oil. You got it. Let's talk about why I decided to go back into intermittent fasting, because I've done intermittent fasting before, and at one point I thought it was messing with my metabolism, but it was really just messing with my hormones. And so it probably wasn't the right time for me to do it or go back into it before, because I love intermittent fasting. I love the eating window that works for me. But I went back into it and I did a totally separate timing, and that timing was not the best for me. So now it's a little different. What I did is I did a 12 to 8. So it's like 12, like an 8-hour feeding window. And the rest of the hours, I think that's 16, I'm fasted. Most of that I'm asleep. And when I get up in the morning, I don't eat anything. I'll just have like green tea or coffee. No sugar. So I use stevia. Sometimes I'll use honey or guava nectar, but I try to keep away from like those artificial those other sweeteners, should I say, or sugar in general. So I stay with stevia. But what I ended up doing before was, that was the problem, was I had a 4 to 8 feeding window. So that's really like 4 hours. And I was having headaches, I was having problems. And I remember a video a long time ago, I had mentioned that I stopped doing intermittent fasting because I thought it was affecting my metabolism. But it wasn't, it was affecting my hormones. So I gave it up for a minute and went back to pretty much eating like the 12 to 8 or 12 to whenever I felt like stopping to eat. And now for some reason I'm back into it because I'm comfortable with 12 to 8. So my feeding window is between 12 to 6 or 12 to 8. And the rest is fasted. Most of that time I'm asleep, or when I get up in the morning, I don't eat anything. So that's what intermittent fasting means. Intermittent fasting means you're eating for a certain period of time, your feeding window, and then the rest, there's no food involved. And normally they say that, I want to say normally because I've been doing a lot of research on it, but your stored fat is not tapped into unless after 8 hours after you have eaten. So that's one thing. Not only that, they say HIIT cardio, high intensity interval training, causes you to lose fat faster because you're losing fat like 48 hours after, 48 to 72 hours after the high intensity interval training. So I combined those two together, and I cannot even explain well how good it actually makes me feel. It would seem like something that's not really good for people starting off because it is a weird way of training and eating, but I still try to stay within my macronutrients. So that was another problem that affected my hormones, because not only was my eating window shorter, I was eating less food. And for me, as a mesomorph adrenal body type, I need a lot of carbs. I need a lot of carbs. So and that's what's helped me to build my muscle, keep my muscle, and pretty much shed the fat a little bit easier. So I went back to intermittent fasting because 1, I need the carbs. 2, I'm still trying to shed a little bit more body fat. And 3, it helps me to stop thinking about food all the time. I mean, that's just real. In this industry, this fitness industry, and trying to be healthy and thinking about competing and wanting to compete and just doing all of this extra research, I have found that intermittent fasting just makes me feel comfortable. I'm not thinking about food all the time. And when it's time to eat, I'm not feeling like I'm eating too much, and I'm not feeling like I'm not eating enough, because once I'm done, and I'm still within, you know, that 1500, maybe 1800 caloric, you know, deficit slightly, because I'm supposed to be eating like 2300 calories. And for me, I'm not trying to eat that much. I'm not like dying of hunger like that, where I feel I have to eat more than what is necessary. So I still stick to the same diet that I've always had, or the same types of foods. You've seen my meal plans, you've seen what I eat from day to day. Sometimes I'll throw in some stuff that's not so good. You know, there's carbs, there's donuts, there's pizza, there's different things, but I eat them at the correct time, and it's usually right after my my high intensity interval training or weight training. Best time for me to eat carbs, and then it starts to dwindle down as the day gets later, and you know, 8 o'clock. So that's one of the reasons why I went into back into intermittent fasting. I feel that mentally my mind is clearer because I'm not thinking about food as much, and that human growth hormone, and feeling like, you know, it's really tapping into my fat stores, what I'm trying to get rid of. Not that I have much. Still at 21% body fat. I'm trying to get to a comfortable 17. Reason why? Because I think that's the lowest I would rather go to even be a part of a competition. So I don't want to go any lower than 15%. So 17 is comfortable, and that is where I want to maintain at. Alright guys, I had to come back because I had to talk to my baby, my son. He has a day. So I'm going to put some links down below in the description box about intermittent fasting, and just understanding the eating windows, so you can decide which one works for you, because everybody's schedule and lifestyle is different. You can choose whatever feeding window you want, or how many times you want to do it, every other day or just every day. The method that I use, the 12 to 8, which is an 8-hour window, I do that every day. Sometimes a Sunday, I might eat once a day. It just depends on how I feel. But I find that the 8-hour, 8-16 is like the best to get started with if you're interested in seeing if intermittent fasting works for you, because intermittent fasting is really like a realistic way of how our diet or our eating habits should be. But yeah, I'll put those links down below so you can check them out. One thing you do have to remember is you still have to eat the amount of macronutrients that is necessary for your body. If you are not aware how many macronutrients, when that means protein, carbs, and fats, that you need personally, and you need someone to calculate it for you, I'll put a link down below, ask you a few questions, and I can send out the macro numbers to you. Not a big deal. I can do that for anybody. Just click on the link below and I'll be able to help you out. But you don't want to be on a low calorie diet when you're doing intermittent fasting whatsoever. You want to eat normally, and whole foods is it. So stick with whole foods. You know, every now and then have your fun with your little, you know, snacks or whatever, but keep it within that feeding window and try not to go overboard. If, for example, like I'm supposed to be eating like 2300 calories, that's like my maintenance, like seriously. But somewhere in there I stick between 15 to 1800 because I need to be at a caloric deficit to lose body fat. So it's a lot easier for me to do that in intermittent fasting. So I hope this helped you guys out. I just wanted to give you guys a clue as to why you're probably not going to see that program. If you are a member with my online coaching, I'm going to take care of your macronutrient list for you automatically. I'm going to also speak with you personally to see if, you know, intermittent fasting works for you. And I believe the next 2 programs I'm going to be working on is carb cycling and ketogenic diet, what to eat, you know, how to do that. We already know ketogenic is pretty much low to no carbs. Worked for me for a period of time, but it's not something that I can do. But I can do you know, it's not something I can do long term. Honestly, I can't, because it doesn't work for me long term. But short term, you need that quick weight loss, that it does work. But carb cycling is actually better for me. But right now I'm not into carb cycling. I'm just staying into an intermittent fasted regimen and just eat what I normally have to eat and try to stay, you know, below 2,300 calories and just call it a day. So it's easier for me, less thought on what I'm eating or thinking about food, or I just know I have everything planned. But for those of you who are members, I will take care of that, decide with you how you feel about which window works best for you. And if you are intermittent fasting and you're not feeling any problems with it, then continue it. But if you're starting to see that it's bothering you a bit, you might want to change your feeding window, or you might need to change what you're eating. But hope this was helpful for you guys. Just wanted to give you an idea of why I decided to go back to intermittent fasting. And I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully on Thursday. Please forgive me, I have been sick lately. This weather, I stay in Michigan because goodness, but I haven't been sick in so long, so it was kind of like, took me back to be sick. But when you're sick, you take a break. And when I take a break from everything. So, but please forgive me if you're seeing this video late. I hope it helps you out. I'll see you in the next one. Comments, questions, anything down below. And make sure you check the links out about the supplements that I showed you guys earlier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I feel like I'm rambling.